Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone was safe. This is Dr. Sharan. Today we are going to discuss about teeth setting principles. Before going in detail about teeth setting principles, just recollect about what all the steps that have been covered before teeth arrangement. Initially, first after making the primary impression, either with your impression compound or arginate, then we pour the cast, that is primary cast, with dental plaster. Then we perform the clinical procedures, border molding and secondary impression making with zinc oxide original impression material or light body elastomeric impression material. Then we pour the secondary cast with your dental stone or dye stone. Then after preparation of your occlusal rims, we perform the gyrulation clinical procedure. Then after finishing your gyrulation procedure, that is orientation, vertical gyrulation and horizontal gyrulation, then we transfer these gyrulations into your articulator. So after you performing your articulation procedure, then we start your teeth arrangement. Till articulation and about articulators is everything completed. In the previous class, we have already Dr. Pawan sir has been discussed about selection of the teeth. Now I am going to discuss about principles of teeth setting or teeth arrangement. Basically, aesthetic tooth placement and physiological tooth arrangement are biologically compatible and desirable, as these aesthetic tooth placement and physiological tooth arrangement are considered as basic end products of proper complete denture construction. So proper placement of the teeth should be functionally as well as aesthetically pleasing. So remember, always when we arrange the teeth, it should mimic the aesthetics as well as it should be physiologically arranged. So these two are the basic principles we should keep in mind when we are arranging the teeth. The position of the maxillary anterior arch and the arrangement of the individual teeth make the most crucial contribution to the appearance of the face. Not only nose and different skeletal proportions make your face identity, even the teeth, maxillary anterior teeth, in some cases your mandibular teeth, in some cases premolars also will be considered for the appearance of the face. So this aesthetic appearance of the face also depends upon your arrangement of your teeth. Okay. After selection of the teeth in gyrulation procedures and after completion, we have to make this arrangement of maxillary anterior teeth, which is aesthetically acceptable. The artificial tooth replacements can and should contribute to the distinction of each patient's face just as the natural teeth did, and in the process they go restoring to the lost body image. Simply, the goal of your artificial teeth setting or artificial teeth arrangement is simply to put them where the natural teeth were. Okay. The setting of the teeth is a combination of science and art and one of the most abused section of the prosthetic dentistry. It is always very difficult. I already discussed in the practical sessions. It is always very difficult to lay down exact rules for guidance in this phase of prosthetic dentistry. Too often, the emphasis is placed on occlusion as being the only important factor in arrangement of teeth. So, you should remember always when you are arranging the teeth, we should remember aesthetics and physiological tooth placement. So remember these 2 points, then start your teeth arrangement. So before going to discuss each teeth setting principles, we have to discuss about different landmarks which guide or which helpful in arrangement of your teeth setting. For example, in maxilla, especially maxillary labial vestibule, inciso papilla, mid-sagittal suture, canine lines, maxillary tuberosity. These landmarks are very important in guiding or in arrangement of your maxillary teeth. When coming to your mandible, mainly mandibular labial vestibule and retromolar pad. Retromolar pad is very important in mandible in arrangement of your teeth. So then please consider the importance of the landmarks before you arrange your teeth or you start your teeth setting. Right? So we discuss here how these maxillary labial vestibule, how the inciso papilla, how the mid-sagittal suture, how the canine lines, how the maxillary tuberosity, and in mandible, mandibular labial vestibule and retromolar pad will guide your artificial teeth. Coming to mid-sagittal suture, this mid-sagittal suture, inciso papilla and labial frenum act as a guides to your midline or median line. A line is drawn anterior-posteriorly, bisecting these points, and the line extending to the margin of the cast. Right? The mid-sagittal suture, inciso papilla and labial frenum will be acting as a midlines. A line will be drawn anterior-posteriorly, bisecting these points, and the line will be extended to the margin of the cast. So before starting, we have to mark your landmarks, what I discussed, on the cast. Next, coming to maxillary labial vestibule. The soft tissue reflection of the maxillary vestibule from canine to canine forms the denture border in that region. That is, from canine to canine, the maxillary vestibule soft tissue reflection will form the denture border. In most dentitions, the distance from the incisal edge of the central incisors to the labial vestibule at a point immediately lateral to the labial frenum will be 22 mm. Right? This measurement seldom varies by more than 1 mm, except in the petite persons in whom it may be only 18 mm. The position is perfected and verified at the next step. What's the next step? After completion of the teeth setting, we have to try this teeth setting in the patient's mode. That step is nothing but your trial denture appointment or wax trying. Right? Next, coming to inciso papilla. The inciso papilla is a valuable guide to the anterior tooth placement because it has a constant relationship to the natural central incisor. So your inciso papilla is very important landmark in guiding your placement of the central incisors. So we have to mark your inciso papilla on the cast. Then only we have to start your placement of your central incisors. The labial surfaces of the natural upper central incisors are 8 to 10 mm in front of the middle of the inciso papilla. Another reference is the distance between the most anterior border of the inciso papilla and the labial surface of the central incisors, which varies from 5 mm for a square arch form to 6 mm for an ovoid arch to 7 mm for tapering form. That is based on the different shapes, that is shapes of the arch. There may be square type of the maxillary arch, or there may be ovoid type of the maxillary arch, or there may be tapering form of the maxillary arch. Based on that arch form, the distance between maxillary anterior the distance between the most anterior border of the incisive papilla and the labial surface of the central incisor changes. So in this picture you can clearly see how they have been calculated. In addition, the incisive papilla is also related to the canines and is situated on the lines passing through the tips of the canine in the dentate persons. That is nothing but, if you consider your dentition, natural dentition or the indentate people. Now we are discussing everything about edentulous patients. In dentate patients, if we pass the line from one tip of the canine to the other tip of the canine, the point which is intersecting, here you can see the incisive papilla will be situated on the line passing through these tips of the canines. So that's why when you are marking in this line, we are used to say mark the tip of the canines. Okay. Here you can see as the incisive papilla moves forward and upward according to the resorption of the ulnar bone, the labial surfaces of the upper central incisors should be placed 6 to 7 mm anterior to the middle of the incisive papilla. Here you can see, if the artificial teeth are replaced in the natural teeth position by referring to your incisive papilla, the molar teeth will move forward and the tongue space will become wider. If the anterior teeth are arranged on the incisive papilla, the lip cannot be adequately supported and their position will also affect the arrangement of the molar teeth. The artificial teeth will be arranged altogether posteriorly and the tongue space will be greatly restricted. If the anterior teeth are placed in the position previously occupied by the natural teeth, by referring the incisive papilla as a landmark, the molar teeth will have an anterior shift accordingly and approach the position of the natural teeth. Thus the tongue space will become wider. Actually, I have discussed elaborately about the incisive papilla. The basic thing you have to remember is mark your incisive papilla and mark your tip of the canines, extend the canine lines and the incisive papilla line, then place the central incisors. Then how much is the distance between your incisive papilla to the labial vestibule? Usually it will be 8 mm. That is the basic things that is essential for your preclinical prosthodontics. Okay, in the next coming to your canine lines. The 6 maxillary anterior teeth occupy the space between the distal of the right canine eminence and the distal of the left canine eminence. When the canine eminences are visible on the cast, a line coinciding the posterior margin of the eminence coincides with the posterior surface of the canine. This line is recorded on the margin of the cast. This one already have been discussed. Marking of the canine lines. Then coming to the maxillary tuberosity. The maxillary tuberosity lies immediately posterior to the maxillary second molar. This relation should be with the first or third molar instead of the second. This landmark is less reliable as atrophy increases, but generally it is useful, right? So when you are, especially when you are doing your occlusal rim fabrication, we usually say to stop the occlusal rim fabrication, posterior extension of your occlusal rim to the middle third of your tuberosity. Right? In this picture you can clearly see marking the incisive papilla, tip of the canines, maxillary tuberosities and extending these lines into the margins of the cast. And this is the diagrammatic representation of the lines. Then coming to your mandibular labial vestibule. The relationship between the 6 mandibular anterior teeth and the mandibular labial vestibule will be almost similar, just like your maxillary teeth. The principal difference is the distance from the incisal edge to the labial vestibule, which is approximately 18 mm. Right? Whereas in maxilla it will be almost 22 mm. When dentures are constructed, this clinical verification is essential. Coming to the retromolar pad. The retromolar pad is an anatomical landmark used most frequently as reference for the tooth placement for it, whether vertically, laterally or anteroposteriorly. It also guides the height of the occlusal plane. In monoplane artificial tooth arrangement, the occlusal plane lies in the middle of the retromolar pad. Laterally, this retromolar pad guides the buccolingual portion of the posterior teeth. According to the scientist Pound, he states that the lingual cusps of the mandibular posterior teeth lies within the triangle formed by the buccal and lingual borders of the retromolar pad and the mesial surface of the mandibular canine. This is usually called as a Pound's formula, okay, or Pound's triangle. Anterior-posteriorly, no artificial teeth are placed posterior to the anterior border of the pad. The mean measurements of the pre-extraction buccolingual breadth of the alveolar process gives an approximate guide to the breadth of the flange of the complete upper dentures and to the pre-extraction lip and cheek portion. So all these landmarks, maxillary labial frenum, midline suture, and incisive papilla, more importantly, maxillary tuberosity, canine lines, mandibular vestibule, and retromolar pad. Just how you do your occlusal rim fabrication. Here, the landmarks also will give an important reference points for the teeth setting arrangement. So, in the next class, we actually discuss about each tooth setting principle. That is from maxillary central incisors to the mandibular molars. Okay, thank you.